hire a realtor? How do you pick the right person for you to help you make one of the biggest decisions that you might ever make in your life, short of having children and getting married and, partnering up with somebody or, anything? It's a big thing, right? It's a big, expensive decision. Who do you trust to help you make that move? Hi, I'm Michele Replogle. I've been in real estate, let's see, I'm 19 years, going on 20. And over the course of years, I've had to hire realtors to do things for me. Like I actually hired a realtor to sell a house for me. And just recently, I was looking in an area that I think that me and my husband want to live in. And we had to hire a realtor. We had to choose somebody to help us make this decision. And not only that, it was an area that we're not really familiar with. So we weren't just looking for someone to sell us a house. We were looking for someone to help us understand the area. We asked questions, about infrastructure, crime, why would people live here? What do they do? All kinds of great questions. So, what are the 3 things that you need to look for? One is it's good to like them, of course, right? You want to like them and maybe have some sort of connection somewhere about something, and you'll find that out in your conversations. 2, that they know the area. And 3, that they understand what you want. Put an asterisk on that one, that they understand what you want to do. You can meet nice realtors that know the area really, really well, but don't seem to have a grasp on what you want to do or what their clients want to do. They just want to sell. And I will give you 2 examples. And just wanting to sell. I'm not here to diss on realtors. I'm just saying that some people pick people that just sell to them. They just sell me on something. I'm going to go buy it. That's what I'm going to do, right? So they're fine. But I actually prefer realtors, and I think more like myself, of what are you trying to accomplish with your purchase? So I'll give you an example. The first gentleman that we met with, he reminded me of that guy, The Most Interesting Man. I think it's a Dos Equis commercial. And he's got the beer, and it was like talking to him. He looked exactly like him. He was super nice. He brought out his 2 associates, and we all had this great conversation, and they told us about the weather and what happens there and what do people do and what's the crime like, what are the schools like, everything about this area that we should know. And they did a great job, and we had a really nice conversation with them. But when we walked away, when we went out, left the office, I realized we didn't really talk about what we wanted to do and what our goals and objectives were, or objectives, what our objectives were, what we really wanted to do. There was no talk of that. Then we met with someone else, and we had a hard time connecting with this person. It just seemed like between text and email and phone calls, we just kind of kept, hitting it just wrong. We finally met up with her, and that first table conversation, when we met at the table and we talked about the area and, weather or crime, the whole thing that we talked about with The Most Interesting Man in the world kind of guy, we talked about everything, and I felt like she was just really standoffish. And, I am the same way when I meet people, because we live in a tourist town, and people come to Santa Cruz and they fall in love, and they are starry-eyed, and they want to meet with you, and they want to talk about buying a house. They're so excited. And the minute their plane lands where they live, boom, out of mind. So when you talk to real estate agents in primarily tourist areas, you may find that they're just a little like, yeah, you're just checking, you're just kicking tires. You're not really very serious. So the first meeting went a little like, are you for real? Then she offered to take us and look at some houses. And so we did. The other guy didn't. We did. We jumped out and looked at property. My husband and I like just about everything. We're very open to real estate. maybe because of the industry I'm in, and we just like, oh yeah, we like this one, we like that one. Then we found one that we really liked. We asked her a few questions she didn't know. We went back and said, thank you very much. We went back and talked about it and realized that, we were really very interested in this property, and we let her know. She got back to us and we said, can we actually go look inside? Because we had just driven by. And over the course of this, in the car and at the house, I felt that she really understood what we were trying to do. We were trying to find a home for our retirement. We will retire soon, someday. We will be probably only using this home part-time until we do that. And she really seemed to get it and understand what we wanted to do and what kind of activities we wanted to do and where we wanted to be and location and how we felt about a house that needed work. Like, I feel like she really just understood our objectives and understood us. Now, we don't need to be friends. We don't need to have each other over for dinner, although that would be fine too, right? We're not, but the whole point is, we liked her. She knew the area, but more importantly, she understood what we actually were trying to accomplish. So that's really the whole video. That's it in a nutshell. You want to make sure that the person that you're working with understands what you're trying to do. I've sold houses to people that are like, I'm only going to live here for 10 years. I got a great job here. My family like it here, but I don't know if this is where I want to settle. I might want to live somewhere else. So find me something that works for about 10 years. I want to retire here. I want to die in this home. Find me that home. Okay. Or I want to be someplace where my kids will have fun. Or I want to be close to the surf or the sand. That's actually the most important thing. Then you of course, you have to adjust for condition of the home and location and price. And so what I'm saying is, when you hire the realtor, try to make sure that they understand what you're trying to do. All the other things that are important in terms of location and condition and what activities in that area will fall into line. And then throughout that process, you, with a good realtor, you will become more fine-tuned in what you are actually thinking about, because not everybody knows exactly. It's just like, okay, it's time to buy a house. I'm going to buy a house. But at that point, when you're with that realtor, you might be able to voice and kind of say some stuff out loud and think about some stuff when you just go, oh yeah, that's actually what I was dreaming of. Because when we were looking at this house, I realized, oh yeah, that's actually something I've been thinking about for a long time. This house was close to a good kayaking space. And I realized, you know what? I would actually like to kayak more. I'm not a kayaker, but it actually was back there, kind of rattling around. So that's the big takeaway. You want them to be nice, to know location and price and crime and, what do people do? What's the industry, infrastructure, all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're super focused on what your goals are when you're purchasing. And that's what a good realtor can do for you. And you could call me. I understand it. Please follow me on my socials, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, comment, email, text. I'm here for you. And I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.